to the 30k Violet versus Imagine NGS Heroic Division game this evening. My name is Jazzelene, and joining me is the wonderful Lupus. Lupus, how's your weekend going?
It's going well, Jazzy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining in. I always appreciate when you guys are willing to come in and co-cast with me, and I love having you on as well. Let's take a look at the map bans for this series. That's all played out. The coin toss was won by 30k Violet, and they've opted to go with map pick off that win. The bans for this evening, Volskaya Foundry banned out, as well as Sky Temple from 30k Violet. Imagine taking away Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow. We're going to kick things off on Dragonshire, which it's a bit exciting for me because when I see somebody wants a map pick, and they're going to a map like Dragonshire, I think they have some kind of strategy and heroes that they like to play to kind of control this map. What's your thoughts, Lupus?
You said 30k went for map pick?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I've seen some discussion around recently about just because of the state of like how many OP heroes there are, playing from second pick isn't always as bad, especially if you have a game plan. So I think you're right on, and I would expect 30k to have a plan here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that right now. There's not necessarily there's enough good heroes right now that, you know, having the second, third pick in the match isn't that devastating. And you can even kind of sneak in some annoying fifth picks on your draft that they have no way of countering at that point. So we'll see what these players are going to prioritize here. We already have the Joanna ban out from 30k Violet and the Dahaka taken away by Imagine.
Yeah, not any too big surprises there. Joe still pretty proven as like the staple, like just the most powerful hero right now. Pretty uncommon for her to get through, except for on maybe Battlefield.
We're going to see the Tracer ban. That's likely a target ban, partly onto Lemieux. We've seen Lemieux play Tracer. I don't know if he's actually been in an NGS game, but I've seen him play it before, and I don't blame them for getting rid of that. And there's the Lunara ban as well. I think she's great here because you have that wisp to keep vision of the triangle bush between bottom and mid. What do you expect these teams to prioritize picking up on Dragonshire in particular?
I still think that the Rhaegar is pretty powerful on this map, and I think we will see that, or a high prio offlane here from the first pick on Imagine. Oh, and the Junkrat as well. Powerful bot anchor. And JTR, I believe, pretty well known for that hero.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually made it through the draft. I understand them wanting to prioritize the Joe Lunara, but Junkrat can do a lot here. So I'm excited to see JTR picking that up. On the side of 30k Violet, we're going to see the Anubarak Sylvanas pick up there.
Yeah, kind of like two different sides of the... like two different play styles here. We're gonna have the super powerful push from Sylv and Anubarak versus the you can never push into me of Junkrat. So we'll see how Imagine wants to kind of help it out.
All right, they're gonna pair that Junkrat with a Diablo and a Lucio here. You're on the side of 30 or Imagine right now. You've just locked in a Diablo. What are you looking to get rid of and hope that the enemy team doesn't pick up here?
I mean, the easy answer is Tychus, although I think Anubarak Tychus isn't my favorite thing because Tychus can siege without Anubarak's help, and especially once he gets the Odin locked in. So we may still see it banned. I'm not sure on the comfort level of picking Tychus on 30k. I've scrimmed both of these teams, but it kind of blends together a little bit, and it's been a long time since I've seen Imagine. So... not sure what their prios are right now.
I do like the Blaze ban here, though. He's been feeling in a really good spot for offlaners for quite a while now. You have the Dahaka taken away. You know, it's Dragonshire. Maybe we see something like a Rexar. You still have the Hogger up. You have Yrel up. Anything else you're looking for in this offlane that you think we could see?
I would expect that since 30k has the finals spot to pick, they're gonna pick like a winning offlane with that last pick. Since we didn't, the only really chokes we saw are Blaze Dahaka. That still leaves up Hogger, Leo, Rexar, a bunch of other options. So
And Lupus is so smart because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to save that off lane, which gives them an opportunity to kind of, they get to see now what Imagine's taking for their off lane, and they can maybe counter it with something. Maybe we see like a Malthael.
ooh, maybe. I'm not sure how much Malthael likes playing into Lucio, because if they do go Malthael, he's just going to go barrier, and also he makes his whole team fast, so Malthael will not have a great time sticking around.
All right, we got
But
a Greymane Rexar. What's the pick into Rexar, Lupus?
it's Artanis, obviously. If you're Crush, he's always going Artanis right here. So maybe he'll get his wish.
That's an interesting matchup because does he stack on the bear, or what is he? How does
You
he
can
play
just
it?
smack the bear, and then you get a million stacks,
Yeah.
and you just burn Rexar's mana bar, because he
Yeah.
has to keep healing the Misha.
Yeah.
And you can swap onto the point as well. And if he stuns you during your dash, then you're still on the point, and you're winning anyways. So not too surprised to just see the Hogger, though, because it kind of makes it a little bit more even, especially in just... because he's going to outclear, and he's going to be able to do the Bruiser camp by himself without any help from his team, which is going to let them put some pressure on the rest of the map.
All right, Lupus, what's your thoughts on these draft? Who do you think is coming out ahead here in game number 1 of our best of 3 series tonight?
Well, I think it's really hard for me to go against Imagine's draft here. I like it better. 30k is going to have to be kind of on top of it. And the only thing that kind of throws me off a little bit is Hanzo doesn't really fit their theme too well. He's not the best siege hero, so
Yeah, I
we
was
shall
thinking the same
see.
thing there. They got that. They got the Anubarak picked up, so he has those beetles to kind of help with sieging and tanking tower shots. They have the Sylvanas picked up to shut down structures, and then you have Hanzo, which really doesn't enable that push for structures or sieging. Let's go ahead though. We'll get into game number 1.
In 10 seconds.
And we'll introduce these teams. On the left-hand side, we have 30k Violet. Lemieux will be on the Hanzo. Negron playing Anubarak. Zadie on Rhaegar. Albatox on the Sylvanas. And Epic Player on Hogger.
On the side of Imagine, we got Breakwood playing Greymane, JTR on his Junkrat, Fatal Rampage on Rexart, Richard Gere, I believe, playing Lucio, and Virtuoso on Diablo.
Lemieux is going to go down first here. A nice pick from Greymane. Breakwood getting first blood of the series for her team. I will say, just looking at the tank matchup in particular for this map, I think that Anubarak does a much better job of warding the bushes in between mid and bottom, whereas Diablo, if he sits in there, he can kind of get caught out. Anubarak has a way to disengage and just walk away if he needs to. Diablo doesn't really have that if he wants to kind of play ward in these bushes.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that the Junkrat should be able to help out a little bit with the traps. He's going to make sure that they know where that Anubarak is.
Take control of the
There's some camps started up here. Siege camp on the side of 30k Violet getting picked up. And we have Greymane and Lucio working on the Bruiser camp for Imagine. It's going to create some pressure there up in that top lane. However, it should be matched pretty shortly with the pickup here from Hogger. He's gone ahead and started that Bruiser camp himself. And as Lupus was saying earlier, he's a great pickup here because he can solo this camp fairly early on in the game.
capture the shrine.
Yeah, and it looks like there's even a little bit of pressure being thrown at mid-wall by 30k right here in the meantime. Yep.
We are going to see 30k secure that bottom shrine for now. Imagine holding on to the top one. See if they can get a little bit of push out of these giants right now if they're just going to walk away.
Yeah, I would expect like a look onto the Rexar here if he's going to be up at the gate like that. It looks like Nagrom's already on top of it. They're going to probably... it's going to be in their best interest to play away from the Junkrat because they're not going to be able to do a whole lot against him. So they're going to play for this top lane is what I would expect.
Fatal Rampage did step out quite a bit there. He's going to as well, and now that Misha's stun is down, that's what kept him alive last time. Negrom looking for the stun, doesn't quite connect, but they're
Holding
trying
his
to
Q
body
even.
Fatal Rampage, and he's able to get behind the wall. Yeah.
Epic Player may be a Team Imagine fan with that one right there. But it happens. I think he probably meant to throw his loot horde into the gate there, and he probably pressed it out of range and it didn't go off, which is a little unlucky. That's probably the play he was looking for right there. He is here against 3 heroes, but Hogger, by the way, he's out.
We're going to see Imagine sending Breakwood and Richard up here to clear out that Bruiser camp. So quite a lot of resources in that top lane. And meanwhile, in bottom, just missed it. They're using that numbers advantage to get the kill onto Junkrat. Let's see if they're going to go for a bit of sieging here, or what the play is now for 30k Violet. What would you expect them to do?
I would expect them to push the spot wall. I don't think they use Sylph trade on that dive. I think it is good for Nagrom to come up here and get this mid soak. He's just really safe doing so, and he's still being able to hold the tri-bush. Now he's got to tell his team to back up a little bit, but not the end of the world here if they... I mean, they got both the towers effectively. That's like a Hanzo E away from dying if Limu can ever get within like a screen of it. But 30k kind of making me eat my words here. They did come in with the plan, so that's on me for doubting them, because they're playing this style really well.
They have enough eyes on the members of 30k Violet right now up in top lane, so they're going to go ahead and pick up this Bruiser camp. In the meanwhile, poor Rexar having to deal with a 1v4 up there, getting dived underneath towers. Sylvana shutting down structures as well, but Fatal Rampage holding on for the time being. Make sure he doesn't get too comfy here and potentially ganked. He does have that fountain to hit. In the meantime, they're just going to counter push him bottom. And I think with the Greymane and the camp here to help them, they can get quite a bit done in return anyway.
Yeah, Imagine's going to get the... They're going to kind of trade out the bot wall a little bit. There's still 1 tower standing, so not as much as 30k got, but for how much pressure 30k was putting on their Rexar, I would have expected maybe a little bit more, but if the minion wave's just getting cleared out by the Hanzo, it's a little tough. He even went with the one-shot minions talent and auto attack build.
They're going to see those points traded once again, so no DK quite up and available yet. Oh, Diablo's going in here onto Elbatox in mid, but not enough damage to follow up off that, so Elbatox is going to be just fine on that Sylvanas for the time being. Level 10 is going to come online here for 30k Violet first, if things continue the way they are, with Imagine about half a level behind on experience right now. We have Breakwood kind of getting caught off in that rotation. DK up and available to channel here. Nagrom's going to go and look for that now, and it doesn't look like they're going to... Ooh!
Lucio stepping on bottom.
We are going to stop that channel. And there's the 10s coming online. What's going on for these ultimates?
No big surprises yet. Maybe we see Bloodlust. Zadie holding her talent. Nope, it is going to be the Ancestral. No big surprises on the ult from me here. From 30k. 30k doing a really good job though. Just kind of chipping away, you know.
I kind of wish when they show top and kind of do these pushes, if they're just going to lose the fort, I would have liked to seen Imagine just run bottom and take that fort and trade it out. They have a Greymane. They're quite decent at sieging with that Greymane. But instead, they get a siege camp, and now they've lost their top fort. Here's the arrow out, connects on to Junkrat. JTR in a world of hurt, and he is going to go down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this bot fort fall if they feel like keeping him here. They don't completely know where Imagine is at, so having Nagrom in that bush, not the worst idea. But once this camp gets, this Bruiser camp taking a while, actually. It's going to cost them quite a bit here.
Yeah, both, when top fort went down, they're doing a siege camp. When bottom fort went down, they're doing a Bruiser camp. I don't know that I like that necessarily here. Trading out fort for camps.
Not a fantastic trade, no.
We're going to see DK up and available to channel. Virtuoso getting that first interrupt here. Fatal Rampage coming down to join the team. They have those 10s up now on the side of Imagine. Boars come out from Fatal Rampage, and they're looking at Nagrom. There's the stun from Misha. No damage around to follow up on top of that. They are going to find the pick onto Hanzo, though, because that's where the other half of the team was, and the damage was looking at. Ancestral goes out, but not in time to save the Anubarak, so that's going to be set onto a 10-second cooldown, and it is a 2-0 in favor of Imagine.
Yeah, Imagine needs to make sure they get something done here. Even if it is another kill, that's a pretty good look for them. Unfortunately, with Bullet down, I don't think Epic Player ever dies there because he's Hogger, but Just fixing the lanes, I'm not entirely sure is enough. They're going to have DK pressure here in a second, which will open up the map for them a little bit, because if you have DK pressure, you don't always have to just force the DK. You can look to do other things.
Ooh,
Their
they're
camps
looking at
aren't
Elba
up,
Talks. Nice. Able to reposition through the wall with those Banshees. Gets the Ancestral Healed. Richard getting quite low here. Now Virtuoso left behind. There's a high five out onto Breakwood to help her walk away from that engage. And it looks like the members of Imagine taking quite a bit of damage, but able to live.
Yeah, definitely a best case scenario for them getting out of that after getting 3-man arrowed. Could have gone way worse.
Got Negrum on the flank here looking at Fatal Rampage. But did he
That's
go
his
too
dig.
deep? He has no way out of here. The team's collapsing. Cursed Bullet goes out onto him. Epic Player trying to stop and peel for Negrum. Negrum looking like he's going to be just fine, but it was a bit scary, a bit over aggressive for him there.
Yeah, and you can see 30K kind of doing that thing that I was just talking about. They have the DK pressure, so somebody is handcuffed here on the side of Imagine. They're handcuffed to this mid-shrine. So Zadie's going to do the siege camp. Sylvanas pushed a bot wave. Look at the bot pressure. It's building up. They have to send Junkrat down there right now.
Have a full siege camp and wave stacking up. Not to mention they've secured that fort, so there's periodic katas coming in on that bottom wave as well. You have the channel starting here. Negrum looking to get it picked up, but interrupted. Richard in trouble, getting stunned out. Arrow comes out, Wailing Arrow as well. And there's the Riptire out from Junkrat to try and help out the team. Richard needs to be so very careful going back in for this fight. He's so incredibly low. He can be popped at any moment. Breakwood trying to stay alive here, diving on to Epic Player, but is ultimately going to go down. In the meantime, we're going to lose Rexar mid as well, and that is a 2-for-0, and this is looking like DK finally going to be able to be picked up here by 30K Violet.
Richard having a little fun top lane with Epic Player. Stalling the dragon just for a couple seconds. Junkrat, I believe he stepped up towards mid and then drove a tire in from around the fort, which is, is something you can do as Junkrat. Pretty, you can drive the tire from a long ways away. It lasts forever, so good on JTR for paying attention to his team there, even if it didn't end up going so hot for them.
We're going to see mid-fort fall. Sylvanas trait used there to help secure that. Now they're looking at bottom. They can open this up. Get that wall down. You got a lot of camp pressure in bottom lane. You have the Siege Giants as well as that Bruiser camp to send down there, as well as the fact that they already have periodic katas. This is just kind of priming a lane for a win condition at this point. So have those 16 talent tiers online on the side of 30K Violet as well to help them with this siege.
Yeah, and I believe that the siege camp on the side of Imagine as well as the bot Bruiser are up. So even if this DK doesn't get the entire keep, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see both of those camps picked up and then a second push with the 16 talents for 30K here.
DK, 5 seconds left, 4% on the bar, and it is going to go
Use
down.
it to eat that trap.
They are
And it
setting
looks
up.
like they're gonna do pretty much exactly what I said.
It's like you know how to play this game, Lupus.
I've played it a couple times. I've
There's
played
a
a few
couple.
hours of HOTS.
There's an arrow
Cool.
connecting onto Rexar and Junkrat. High five out onto JTR. Allow him to reposition. He's going to go for the Riptire here. Nobody really low enough to do anything with this, and looks like they were just trying to force that 16 talent tier advantage fight while they could, but didn't quite find what they were looking for here. Giants do get picked up by 30K Violet, and they're going to look for a little bit more siege pressure onto this bottom fort. Imagine getting very close to getting their 16s themselves.
Yeah, I think looking to re-engage there isn't the worst thing if they get a really good one on the side of Imagine, because 30K used 3 of their big team fight starting ults, and a Nubrak E as well was used just to get over the wall. A pretty ambitious look from Limu, to be honest, but
This could be...
now they have their 16s and an ult advantage, so this could be a good fight for Imagine here.
That was a good shutdown from Negrum there, throwing out the stun to stop the engage from basically the entire team. Epic Player has now been able to join the team as well. Is going to Horror Port through the wall onto the back line. Lightning Breath out from Diablo. See if they can get Epic Player down. He thought he maybe had that backline, but that backline's like, nah, we got you. Epic Player goes down. Richard getting incredibly low. Breakwood getting low as well. They're going to get the pick onto Misha, and the members of Imagine are kind of on the run here. They have really nothing left on their health bars. Diablo will be the next to fall. Richard goes down, and Negrom going for the invade. Nice 3-man stun onto the remaining members of Imagine. JTR popping the Riptire, looking to see if he can get a counter kill, but that's not going to work out. That is a 4-0 in favor of 30K Violet here. Team, this fight's still kind of continuing on here.
Yeah, that was a really good look for. Oh, that's was that a second Diablo death there?
Yep.
I think it was.
Yeah.
That's rough. Might be game here. Their siege damage not fantastic. And relatively short timers. Limu sticking around, just having a little bit of fun shooting the core. But really good look over the wall from Negrom right there. I don't know if they had vision or not, just because we're on observer mode, so we can see everything. But if that was blind, that was just crazy. But it paid off. He got a 4-man E, and that if his ranged heroes had both their ults up, as opposed to them just coming up, like as the fight was kind of slowing down a little bit, then it would have been just probably we would have been going into game 2 already. They would have been deleted.
This is a difficult defense here for Imagine. 20s are just a shy hair away from being hit here. Where are my words? They're not happening tonight. But there we go. 20s online, and now they're trying to defend down. A little over 2 levels difference here. There's the arrow out from Hanzo. Got the high 5 to kind of help some of these players walk away from that. It's still going to be a difficult defense without 20s online. JTR is going to pop the Riptire. We have the structure being shut down by Sylvanas. DK stepping forward, looking for the kick, but the high 5 on a Breakwood is going to keep her right where she wants to be, continuing to shred through this DK. Negrom knocked away by the concussion mine, and there's now a bruiser camp on core. DK left with 6% on the bar here. Gonna see the Ancestral come out. And 30K Violet trying to get some core damage in here.
Yeah, they got a couple katas starting to hit at the core, and the shields are down, so Imagine needs to make something happen here if they don't want to get shut out of this game.
Epic players in that back line. He's going hog wild, spinning around here, trying to find some picks. Virtuoso getting incredibly low. Core falling with these katas on it. This is looking like it's going to be a game. Number 1 over to the side of 30K Violet. GG's and well played.
They definitely did not disappoint with coming in with their game plan. I think they got pretty much exactly what I would say probably everything they could have asked for, honestly, with their draft. Hanzo still putting in the work. Huge damage coming out from Limu, and some pretty good arrows despite there being a high 5 Lucio on the other side. He still managed to sneak him in there when either Lucio was too far away or just from fog and catching Lucio with it because he wasn't ready.
10-5 in kills this game, so it wasn't like it was a stomp in kills necessarily. There wasn't a lot happening. I think there was just some poor trades happening that kind of opened up the map more for 30K Violet, created more opportunities for them as well. Taking a peek at the talents real quickly. Anything that you're surprised or you would have liked to see done differently in these builds?
The only thing that really stands out to me is Zadie favoring that Wellspring at 13. I've seen kind of people going back and forth on the 13 for Rhaegar, and I think generally the Q is considered better. I could be wrong on that one. And also Negrom's Anub'arak build, a little bit atypical as well. Usually we see Beetle build, especially if they're going to be pushing buildings, but the ease, he had some massive ease, so can't really knock it because he owned with it. So
he had some great engages on Anub'arak. I'm excited to see if we I'm excited to see what else we get out of him in the tank role in game number 2, if he's going to end up still on that Anub'arak or switching it up. I'd like to see something different, just to see kind of how he performs on other tanks, because I did catch a little bit of the Heroes Rise Contender Series, but the one game I did catch, he was on Anub'arak as well. But yeah, I mean, I haven't necessarily seen a ton of Negrom, so it was exciting to see him now. He, six player on the roster he wasn't for CCL, so we haven't necessarily seen him prove himself yet, so it's exciting to see him in these games and HRCS games. Let's pop on over to Lupus and we'll get ready for this next match here. Update the overlays for game number 2 of this best of 3 series. We're going to be headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Lupus, what's your thoughts on Tomb? What are you hoping to see here?
I think that I would hope that we can see another macro focus style out of 30K. I think it's a bit more interesting than just the just kind of the two teams like almost team death matching a little bit that we see pretty often. Because Imagine kind of got pulled all over the place last game, and it was pretty fun to watch. So I would be interested to see if 30K's got a plan for this map as well. I'm not sure who picked map or first pick or not.
This is a map.
Imagine has first pick.
Yeah,
so.
this is a map pick from 30K Violet. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out, because last time Dragonshire, a much bigger map, you can kind of pull Imagine all over the place and kind of make them just play this reactive game. Tomb of the Spider Queen, maybe not so much. You know, if you start to kind of siege in those forts, you get caught overextended. It's a little bit easier to punish on this map. Is there certain heroes you would expect to be prioritized in this draft after game 1? Or simply because it's Tomb?
Just because it's Tomb, and I watched HRCS a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I watched Negrom get smacked up on a Stitches game in there once by Smoge Business, so hoping maybe he could look for a little redemption by picking Stitches on one of his better maps here.
A Stitches redemption game. That would be cool to see. I'd love to see it too. We got the Tracer Band to kick things off from Imagine. Again, this is just likely, you know, partly Tracer's annoying. She can still perform well, but also Lemieux, pretty solid Tracer player, so they just don't want to deal with it, and I don't blame them there. Joanna Band to follow that up, so it's looking pretty similar to game 1 with the Joe Tracer Band so far. We saw that for game 1.
Yeah, the Tracer ban every game to me kind of seems like Imagine almost is playing like they think they're the underdogs, which isn't really what you like to see, because there's answers to Tracer, but it kind of makes it feel like they don't either know what they want to do against it, or they just think that the Tracer is too good on an individual player level and they just can't compete with it.
Blaze and Maiev bands. Yeah, go ahead, Lupus.
I think that's a Breakwood Maiev ban. I'm pretty sure I've seen her play it a lot in the past. And JTR going back to the comfort on the Junkrat. Good on this map, good wave clear, good vision with the traps.
You know, right now we could just have kind of a run back of the drafts we saw in game number 1.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, it could be an Anubarak Sylvanas pickup here again, which I don't think is too bad. You get a lot more value out of sieging with the Sylv, with Tomb of the Spider Queen, with those web weavers, but we're going to have a little bit of a switch up here. Hanzo locked in by Lemieux, and it's going to be the Stukov this time around from Zadie.
Interesting.
No cleanse, that means. Does Imagine punish this?
I would hope that they look to. Yes, they will. Okay. That's kind of the response that I would expect into a Stukov. You can either just dive him and silence him and blow him up, or you can web him so that he doesn't do anything to your team, kill the rest of his friends, and then he's done. But Nubarak, pretty good answer.
This is a pretty big comfort pick for Breakwood as well. She plays a pretty mean Sylvanas. It's probably one of her most played heroes if I took a peek at her profile, which I can't do now, but I'm pretty sure it is. We're gonna have the Anduin ban here, and one more ban on the side of Imagine. It's going to be the Stitches.
Oh, they know. Kind of weird, because I don't think they're the 3 heroes they've picked right now. I don't think really care if there's a Stitches. And Stitches Stukov, not as fun as you would think, because if Stukov misses the W, the hero just walks away anyways. So Negrom gonna be ending up on the Garrosh here, and then Albatox taking the Tychus.
What does Garrosh do into this comp right now? Do you think he's going to be able to find the value he needs to find? Is he just you know, hoping that maybe Virtuoso burrows in and they can punish him for that? Like, how do you play this as the tank?
I think that it's not it's not gonna be a fun time for Negrom, especially with those two picks locked in. The only thing I could think of would maybe be that Zadie's gonna go the biotic armor here, but it's not. Sylvanas is pretty hybrid damage, and Junkrat is not super auto attack based either, so even the armor stacking isn't gonna do a whole lot. Negrom's just gonna kind of be like their cleanse possibly with the ally toss as well. So he's gonna have to be pretty on point because it's just with the way that the CC comes out from Imagine. They're gonna be he's gonna have to be on point with both his Indomitables and his ally tosses out here if he's gonna save people.
All right, Lupus, looking at these two drafts, is there one you're favoring this time over the other? Who do you think is going to come out ahead? Do we get a 2-0 from 30K Violet tonight, or are we going to game 3?
Again, I still think I like Imagine's draft better, but after last game, I think it's hard for me to root against 30K here. I assume that they have a plan, and I hope we get to see them execute it here.
Fair enough. This is Tomb of the Spider Queen, though. This could be a, you know, a 30-minute game. If there's a map that goes with 30 minutes, it's this one, and all the teams are kind of sitting behind forts or behind keeps at their core with 120 gems, not wanting to step out and throw the game. So it could be interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out here. Game number 2 of our best of 3 series between 30K Violet and Imagine. We had 30K Violet on the left-hand side, Lemio on the Hanzo Epic player playing Dehaka, Zadie on Stukov, Albatox on the Tychus, and Negrom on Garrosh.
On the side of Imagine, we have JTR on Junkrat once again, Breakwood playing Sylvanas, Richard back on Lucio, Fatal Rampage on Leoric, and Virtuoso on the Anubarak.
Virtuoso finding that stun onto Dehaka. Negrom looking for the stuns in return here, and there's a concussion mine onto Epic player. Gonna get a little bit of poke damage onto him, bring his health bar almost to half as he splits off to go soak bottom lane. This is an overwhelming affliction Sylvanas, so she has a little bit of extra percent damage.
And a bit of a slow whenever she autos Negrom. He's really not going to be happy with that one, I would assume. He's already had a rough time. Anubarak doesn't really care until Taunt comes out, and you can have to throw Taunt the Anubarak.
Yep.
And then Lucio, his whole team's fast, and you can boop. And Leoric doesn't care, he just presses E. So anything else that Garrosh has to deal with is just no fun.
Taking a look at these level 1 picked up, Hanzo opting for the Redemption. I don't usually see Hanzo's go Redemption. I more often see the simple geometry. Is there a reason why we have Redemption here?
He went at last game as well, a full auto attack build actually. So
Maybe comfort
maybe
build.
just a comfort for Limu if they favor this build.
Oh, beautiful
good
concussion
thing
mine, but he gets the leap
good
over
thing
the
it's
wall.
Hanzo.
Limo with the spray too.
That's funny. A little bit of fun going on between the two teams there. He
Yeah.
knows that he, if he was anything else, he's just dead. But no problem there for Limu. Just hops right out.
Those Siege
I did
Giants.
see the Siege Giants taken really early here. I think it was Breakwood who did those. I wasn't paying too close attention, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
was watching
but I'm
Hanzo
pretty sure
going
it
over the
was
wall.
her.
They get quite a bit of value out of that early Siege Giant pickup, though. They got one of the towers down and open up bottom a little bit here. Epic player sitting in this bush. Maybe looking to look for something on the rotation. There's no one to really follow that up, though, so all he's doing is revealing himself, getting a little bit more damage put onto the Dehaka. Meanwhile, Bruiser Camp picked up by 30K Violet, and they are looking to do something with it. There is the concussion mine onto Negrom, out of position, taking tower shots, and that is going to be first blood here for Imagine.
Yeah, that, I don't think that's the first, or the, well, it is the first, but it's definitely not going to be the last time we see something like that happening to Negrom with this draft here from Imagine. It's going to be really annoying for him. 30K, not actually getting very much with that Bruiser Camp because of the pick found there.
Yeah,
So,
good defense there from Imagine. They're going to pick up their Bruiser Camp here as well. They're looking at Fatal Rampage, but it's Leoric. He's got that get out of jail free card. He's going to Wraith Walk
he's doing
out.
that one thing that he does. I'd expect a pretty sizable push here out of Imagine from this Bruiser camp with the Anubarak and the Sylv. I'd even like to see... Junkrat's got top prio. I'd like to see him come down, and Leo even to come up here, just 5 mid with the Bruiser camp. Once Leo finishes up the spot wave, and then they can really... even if somebody goes over the wall, like I said, most of the heroes don't care.
Yeah, there's the concussion mine out, so it'll be on cooldown for a little bit here. Fatal Rampage has rotated up to try and help get a bit of a push with this Bruiser camp. Looks like they've just decided to back off and try to use that Bruiser camp as a window of opportunity here to get their gems turned in. They got 46 of the 50 needed, and unfortunately, they're going to lose Junkrat in mid. Negrom takes a ton of damage in return for a break. What's looking at Lemieux? Able to use those Banshees to avoid any CC from Garrosh and walks away here. They're not able to find that turn in quite yet.
Yeah, I think they took a little, the side of Imagine took a little too long to make that decision that they wanted to just use the Bruiser camp to turn in. Especially, like, they gave Epic Player pretty free clear just by,
look at Lemieux getting caught out. He's gonna jump over the wall, doing the Hanzo thing once again, but Richard's on the chase and he finds the pick. Negrom now in a bit of trouble, but there's the drag onto Leoric. And he's tossed over the wall. Albatok's on the back line, ready to follow up. What is it? I think he could have just walked away.
He probably could have prolonged his life there a little bit. Not the end of the world, just because he's Leoric. He's going to respawn right here on the battlefield, and his team did get the gems turned in. Breakwood turned them in, while the side of 30k was watching Leoric die to their towers.
Slexia, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Maka. Welcome to the squad, Maka. Let's see what they get out of this Web Weaver phase here. They have the Sylvanas to help shut down structures. Vanubarak for a little bit of extra creep to help with this siege as well. Junkrat for the poke, maybe catch somebody out with a concussion mine.
And not a whole lot of anti-push here, other than Lemieux being able to one-shot the minions is pretty nice, but Imagine just turns off the buildings, so they don't even really need the minions. They're gonna get this whole top wall, not bad off their first turn-in. And it looks like Epic Player kind of getting traded on here with Fatal Rampage. Misses the tongue though, so I would expect this not to go too much further. Unless Epic Player, there's like an outplay here, but yeah, he's got his essence up. He's good to go. Nagrom coming down too. Uses E before Garrosh is off mount. Fatal Rampage is going down here in just a second. I'd like to see Imagine trade this for like the entire top fort though. They see 4 heroes here.
Yeah.
Oh, and they even kill Tychus actually. That's huge.
Oh man, that's great. Tyke is just sticking around a little bit too long there. Top 4 is going to fall. They got the pick into Leoric in return, but it feels like this time Imagine is getting the better trades out of these sieges.
They did. Learning from their mistakes in the last game and not making them a second time, which is really what you like to see. They don't have a whole lot of gems. I believe both times Fatal died. I'm pretty sure when he went into the fort he had like 15 and he just died with 9 more, I think. Maybe it was like 7 to 9 more. So a little short on gems here for Imagine. And their waves though in great shape to defend against this tournament. Look where top is gonna drop here. It should drop pretty far back. Actually, Albatok's getting the wave cleared in time, so not the end of the world here for 30k on that top spawn. Bot pushed out, and then here's the Odin push from 30k.
Yeah, Sylvanas breaking off to go clear up that top lane. Priority on mid fort right now from 30k Violet. That Odin helping to siege in. Negrom stepping forward. Let's see if he can find anything. There's an arrow onto Virtuoso. The high five's coming out. We have the Garrosh ultimate being used there. No value since the Unstoppable from high five just shut that down. Negrom now concussion mine out of position here. The cocoon out onto Hanzo. We had the isolation used, but I don't know that
it did connect onto Virtuoso. That Riptire just got one shot right there. This push from 30k kind of running out of steam here. Imagine is in a perfectly fine spot with Fatal. Lemieux is doing his frog impression this game. He's always just out of there. He's gone. Fatal even stayed bot for an extra wave, and Epic Player got that flank. I don't hate the look onto that mid fort from 30k, especially with where their spiders dropped at. And killing the mid fort on Tomb kind of gives you a lot more space to work with, more than the top fort does. Top is important because of the boss, of course. But mid, once you kill that mid fort, there's the distance to safety goes way up, no matter which turn in Imagine's looking for here, and it gives Negrom a whole lot more space to work with, which he's definitely, as we've seen so far, he kind of needs with how many Garrosh answers there are on the side of Imagine.
There's a turn in up and available here for the side, both sides now actually. There's an arrow going out onto Breakwood. Let's see if Richard has that unstoppable for her. There we go, high five to keep her alive, and Virtuoso able to roll on out of there. Now, as I was saying, there is a turn in up and available, but look at Tahaka. He's sitting with 45 of the gems, so if they can just either look for him or stop him for the pick, they're not getting that turn in. Epic player's going for the turn in right now on that top point, and he's going to find it. Nobody's up there to shut that down. Here's the Entomb out from Leoric. Riptire being used on Junkrat. Virtuoso is going to go down. In return, Mind Control goes out from Sylvanas, but they aren't able to find anything off of that. Richard is going to be the next to fall here. JTR and Fatal Rampage incredibly low. A 2-0 in favor of 30k Violet, and they're going to look to find themselves another turn in.
Yeah, they're going to get it here. Negrom's got enough. Waiting for his team to tag that bot camp. Nice. I think that the Entomb is pretty good look, but Breakwood and JTR were both really far away from the Entomb, which isn't the end of the world for Junkrat, but he got dug on by Epic Player, and Epic Player actually ISO'd him and canceled the Riptire. Maybe he got it off. Either way, he made JTR effectively removed him from the fight. And they're actually going to get scared off of this Bruiser camp.
Yeah, I can't say I blame her. Breakaway is getting low. She's running out of mana there. They could have shown up anytime because they knew that it was aggroed during the objective, but they let it leash. There's going to be 2 minions left on it when it spawns back in for them to finish that off, and 30k Violet looking to get some value out of this turn-in. There's the Mind Control onto Tychus. Let's see if they have the follow-up. Elbatox just able to walk away from that. Nothing to follow up on that Mind Control, unfortunately, for Imagine.
Yeah, it's just going to kind of be a bit of a wasted cooldown. Negrom did use his ally toss, didn't get Albatox with it, but it is on cooldown for now. So if you're Virtuoso, you can maybe look for something a little bit here, but you need to kind of wait for your team to fix these lanes a little bit. This push not done yet, though. Odin coming out here from Albatox. Just going to click the building. Riptire even going to get used to clear mid. So this bot keep may just be gone here. 16's about to come in as well, so this should be absolutely gone.
There's a Cocoon onto Garrosh, Mind Control onto the Dahaka. They're looking to try and find something, but he's able to get underground to avoid the stun for Virtuoso. Blading Spike coming out from Zadie to try and help with the disengage, but a Concussion Mine knocking Negrom, an Epic Player, out of position. Taunt from the Garrosh. Silence dropped on the ground as well here. There's the Entomb onto Tychus. He is in some awkward positioning here. Albatox is going to be the first to fall in this engage. See if they can look for more here as Imagine trying to keep them from retreating out of here. Fatal Rampage going forward, getting that Drain Hope onto Epic Player. A nice stun from Negrom to slow them down on the engage, but Virtuoso looking for the stun in return. Might have been a little bit greedy here as he is in trouble, and the arrow is going to connect onto Breakwood and Virtuoso. Down goes the Anubarak. Now they have Imagine on the run here. Richard in a bit of trouble, but able to high five onto JTR. Get a little bit of distance between him and the enemy team here. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Maybe a 1-for-2 here. Hanzo able to step up and find that pick onto Fatal Rampage.
Yeah, that really looked like it was going to go the other way, especially with...
Lena just jumped in. Riptire's going to come out.
The spray?
Mind Control misses.
He's gone, surely. Okay. Yeah, it really looked like that was going to go the way of... the push was going to go the way of Imagine. ISO does come out there from Epic Player, but it does not connect. It really looked like it was going to go the other way, and Imagine was going to get some more kills there, but they kind of split their focus a little bit. You really got to decide which way they wanted to go there, because with the Lucio, they can collectively deathball and run somebody down forever, no problem. Just amping up the move speed. But Virtuoso dug over the wall there and basically got one shot by Limu. So
we're gonna see a turn in from the side of Imagine. Their top lane really the only one that's in a decent enough position to get anything off of. They're gonna try and get the mid lane now in a better state as well. But there's a Bruiser camp from the side of 30k Violet that they'll have to clear up. Albatox really aggressive there. We're going to see the taunt out onto Virtuoso. Cocoon onto the healer. Negrom in a bit of trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. A little bit of counter synergy with that Entomb and the concussion mine, knocking them out of it. Feels bad. Big silence dropped on the ground. Breakwood's getting pretty low here as the Web Weavers spawn in for the side of Imagine.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the ults there on the side of Imagine getting blown, and nothing coming out of it, unfortunately, for them. So this Web Weaver push kind of going to stall out. Mid did basically nothing because of the Bruiser. They're still looking down here, though. Zadie caught out. Negrom with the save, though.
Lemieux might be in a bit of trouble here. Not sure if he has his leap to get over the wall. They're going to find the pick on Hanzo. However, the drag onto Sylvanas, looking a little scary for her. She goes for the mind control, though, onto Dehaka. He has quite a health bar to get through here. Let's see if they can find the pick. He has 36 gems on him, by the way. They get the Entomb onto Negrom, and this might be a turnaround here from Imagine.
There we go.
3 members down.
They're looking for more as well. They get the stun onto Albatox. Here's the Lucio thing. Look how fast they are. Albatox gonna go down here too. Oh, oh, she does get over the wall. Zadie will be saved there.
They were looking for that concussion mine to get the 5th pick here, but it's just Zadie left up for the defense. They are about 11 gems away from a turn-in again on the side of Imagine, but they're going to go ahead and siege while they have these death timers. Then they can maybe look to back up. I don't know if they can quite end yet.
No, I don't think so either. They were posturing like they wanted to maybe go for it.
I just don't think they have
when you're 11 gems off, I think maybe they turn around and take mid fort off the map here as well, and then get their turn in. And
it looked like Virtuoso was thinking about it, and now they're just gonna go dump gems here. It's a nice wave in mid to get them. I think the rest of the gems that they'll need here if they can get there in time.
Yeah, pretty close. A couple short here, but. We'll get it in just a second. Tychus just now respawning. It is important that they get the ones they have right now in, so that you only need to turn in on one person going forward, instead of like the whole team still having to dump. Yeah, kind of unlucky here. I'd like to see Breakwood just pick up this mid wave, and then.
Well, I think they're trying to force the pre-20 fight because 30k Violet is going to find it first. Big taunt there. Arrow comes out. It's eaten by the front line though, so not the worst situation. But Fatal Rampage getting quite chunked down in the meantime. Few alts traded out there. The arrow, the taunt on the side of 30k for the mind control on Imagine. And they're going to hit those 20s now.
Yeah, so 30k lost all their gems, so I don't even think that... I think that Imagine has time to find their 20s here. They just need to play safe.
They really just need to fall back to safety and chill. They really shouldn't be forcing anything. They can even freeze this wave and wait for the XP to come to them because there's like... The one thing they're risking is the boss at this point. I guess if they just go straight for the clear.
Even 5v5ing on the boss against like a Junkrat with the Qs at 16, it's not going to be a good time for 30k. They could force a fight and bait it. They're just kind of ripping it though. Looks like JTR will spot Negrom in that bush. The grenade's just kind of bouncing past. But with... Oh, they will get off. They hear the dig. Now is the time where they leave. Fatal needs to get out of here. Everybody else just needs to walk away. 20 is about to be here in just a second.
Nice. Good job on the side of Imagine, holding on long enough to find those 20s. The boss gets leashed, and now we're just kind of chilling. 1 gem needed for the turn-in here. They might be able to find it as 30k clears out this mid-camp. Epic player, though, making sure that... maybe getting caught out a little bit here with that Cocoon onto Garrosh. There's the arrow coming in. Oh, big arrow onto Fatal Rampage. Breakwood getting tossed out of position. Richard trying to keep her alive, but she can't see anything. She's running for life here. Odin on that Tychus, just pumping out the damage with that big red button now. Richard just trying to get his team out of here.
Oh, Epic player.
Nice drag onto Breakwood, but she's able to continue running away here. JTR looks like he might be in some trouble. Let's see if he can make it out. He's going to be the next to volley. 2-0 in favor. Make that maybe a 3-0 here as Richard getting chased out, but able to make it back to core here. 2 members down on the side of Imagine. 30k Violet looking to try and end out this game.
Yeah, this isn't a free end, especially with Leo respawning. He has Entomb right now. Core Shield's just now starting to go down. I don't think 30k's got this in the bag quite yet. And Entomb onto just Garrosh. Not exactly what they're looking for, especially with the shields still just now coming off. You have a bit of time. It's more important that those Katas go down. And Leoric's kind of their best option because he can just walk up and not really care. And then E out.
That
But
shield's
he's kind of
off.
just getting blasted by Albatox there.
68% left on the core here, and they've managed to hold off
Yeah,
a
not the
while
end
longer.
of the world here for Imagine. They're still in this game. Map, other than the core being a bit damaged, they're just down the one fort in mid. So
I mean, they've already taken bottom keep here, so it's not like that cata pressure is going to build up. It's going to be pretty equal now. Stun onto Fatal Rampage. She's going to go ahead and Wraith walk away. We have a mind control onto the Garrosh. Concussion Mine comes out, but
Nice
the
and done.
unstoppable from Garrosh. That was beautiful. Keeps himself alive for the time being. Still that one gem for 30k until they have their turn in. And, or sorry, for Imagine, but 30k getting very close to turning themselves. They're only 10 gems away. Negrom found in that bush. The members of 30k all around and ready for the fight here.
yeah, I think at this point,
Ooh, there's
if
the
you
mind
really
control
want
onto Dahaka. The Entomb, he's going to be silenced in there. And they will find the pick onto Dahaka. But the question is, can they get more and keep themselves alive here? Fatal Rampage incredibly low. Negrom getting poked down. They're trying to look for those other picks, but the Riptire isn't going to do anything there.
mind
There's
control.
big mind control onto the Stukov, though. And they find themselves a second pick. They can turn in. They can look to end, maybe.
They're gonna go for the boss turn here. I think 30k is gonna look at the back door here, at least based on where they're going on the map. Auto attack Hanzo maybe fixes it up a little bit, the negative core damage that Hanzo does, but no healer here either, just 2 ranged and a tank. If JTR gets back in time, then this is rough for 30k. Not completely out of the question here though. Nope, they're... Oh! Limu caught, actually.
He's going to jump over the
not
fort.
up. I think there's a rewind available still for Virtuoso. Actually, still maybe on cooldown. They used it during the fight. Virtuoso just going to kind of be here to make sure they're not. I'd like to actually see Virtuoso still looking to stall these backs, because this is a monster push in the top lane, and there's nobody home to answer it.
Arrow coming out there is going to connect onto Fatal Rampage. He's able to get into his Wraith form.
Oh,
but
it
the
bounces to
silence-
Breakwood.
Oh no, that isolation, the little 20 upgrade. That's so unfortunate to lose Sylvanas here. The Cocoon's going to go out onto Garrosh. Gets broken pretty quickly.
Oh,
Drag
Richard,
onto
high fives
Richard.
into the tongue from Epic Player. Gets out. Still a little under half HP. They're not gonna look for too much more though. They do need to make sure they take this mid fort off the map. If it's not gonna, it's gonna get itself. Doesn't even matter. How many gems are we looking at here? I believe 30k got in a lot of theirs. I could be mistaken on that. Then they did die in that fight. If they didn't get all theirs in, then oh, the core actually took damage on the side of 30k. So really even game here. Oh, 30k didn't get any in. They just lost a bunch in that fight. So the game is a lot more even than it would have been if 30k was able to hold on to all those gems.
This is why I was saying Tomb of the Spider Queen can go on for 30 minutes, because you get to this point
It's looking like it right now.
Yeah. You get to this point where it's incredibly hard to turn in any gems you do have. There's really nothing left up on the map to take. Boss is not going to be up for another 5 minutes. So you have some of these camps, and there's really not a reason to try and force fights or do anything. Or might see an attempt at some fights here. They're going to come down, clear out these siege giants. And mostly you just kind of see teams dancing around each other at this point in Tomb.
30k actually gonna... I'd like to see them... They're getting mid cleared pretty much for free. I'd like to see them just play in this spell camp and maybe look to Big Red Button siege down this mid keep.
Arrow
come
misses.
Limu.
There's the Cocoon onto Garrosh. It's going to be step broken pretty quick there. Albatrox focusing that down. Breakwood is going into the back line, and she's now split from her team. The Riptire goes out from Junkrat, connects onto Limu. No real...
They did get the Odin out, but after Big Red Button is locked in, this thing lasts for like 30-something seconds. So this... Unless that connects, nope, this keep is most likely gone here for Imagine. Taunt actually interrupted there by Virtuoso, I believe.
Fatal Rampage going in here. There's the silence onto Tychus, the mind control to follow it up, but do they have the damage to find the picks? Virtuoso getting incredibly low, turns back around for the stun, lands another stun. And then it looks like Fatal Rampage getting low. Albatox almost going down. Breakwood chasing into the back line, trying to find something and just having to head right back out with that reset on her Banshees. There's the mind control, and Epic Player is going to be the first to fall in this engage. The heal just popped on Stukov, so they're feeling pretty okay to chase this out. Zadie's not going to have a decent enough heal for a team for a minute here.
Richard can honestly just kill Limu by himself at that point. I don't think he has very many redemption stacks left. He did have it there. He just lost it when he died. No, I have to see here what Imagine looks to do. It's kind of a tough end with Odin coming up, but damaged core, and it looks like they're just going to look for another keep here.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, Entomb on Zadie.
This is huge. This is huge. Zadie's caught in the silence. Entomb. The follow-up there. The concussion might knocking her out of position. She's going to fall. The cocoon onto Negrom. Shut down the mid-keep. Negrom now rooted out of the Junkrat trap. The Riptire coming through. They find themselves with another pick, and it looks like we're going to have a game 3.
Yeah, really good look there from Fatal. Just Fatal wanted out, honestly, is what that looked like. He was over it. He wanted to go to the next one. Gets the Entomb onto Zadie there, and that's all she wrote for 30k in this one.
Got that big red button on Tychus trying to defend the core, but it's not going to be enough. Game number 2 to the side of Imagine. GG's and well played.
Yeah, a bit of a wild one there, to say the least, but I guess I'm just a jinx, because whichever team I say I think is going to win is not winning. So, kind of unlucky on that one, but...
Take a look at this match summary here. 10 to 15 in kills. 30k Violet going down a little bit more often in this game than Imagine. Taking a peek over here at the builds, Lupus, anything that's sticking out to you that you liked, didn't like?
I think Fatal played really well overall. A couple Entombs were a little questionable, but he did kind of win them the game there at the end. So, and the rest of his tombs weren't like terrible or anything. They were just not super. There were a couple that weren't super impactful.
The nice thing about Entomb, though, it's a 50-second cooldown. So if you miss one, it's not like you can kind of just chill for that 50 seconds. It's not like you have a super long alt or timer on your alt there. Next lobby is up and ready to go. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 30k map pick.
Looks like it. Epic Player is the one that linked the game.
So let's get on in there. I'll update the map overlays. Give you guys a rundown of what's happened so far in the series if you're just tuning in or you missed a game. In just a moment here. I'm kind of excited on the match that we're ending it on here.
Oh yeah, this one could go all the way.
Yeah, we're headed to Towers of Doom here for game 3. So this is another one that really can get down to the last couple shots on each core and a ton of win conditions on the board when that happens as well. So this could be exciting. After seeing the Tomb of the Spider Queen go as long as it did, as late as it did, I'm kind of expecting to see something similar here. This once again is a map pick from the side of 30k Violet. They really seem to be preferring having that last pick potential to counter something, to lock something in unexpected, as well as there's a lot of decent heroes right now in the meta. Not having that first pick is not necessarily detrimental to the win. So I'm interested to see what they prioritize here.
Yeah, I think this is another one where we might see that third ban Stitches coming out here on the side of Imagine. I don't know if Imagine's going to change up their bans much at all. So...
Chat's cheering for the Lupus cam.
I do that. Yeah.
I'm excited that we get a game 3 out of this. It would have been a little bit disappointing for the top 2 teams of the division. Neither one of these teams dropping a single map until tonight, and it's both of them taking a map off of each other. It would have been a bit disappointing to see one of them 2-0. And there we go. Once again, Lupus with the 200 IQ calls coming in here at that Stitches van. Joanna going to be taken away by 30k Violet as well.
Yeah, Tracer, yep, all right. It's kind of just a formality at this point. I might as well just type it in the chat and then go in like the quick match mode to pick their heroes or something. But, that's pretty expected as well. Breakwood might have ban.
They prioritize
this is where it
Junkrat
kind of
again.
gets kind of gets wide open. I would assume that we'll see Junkrat again here from JTR. Super powerful on this map. Same reason he's powerful on Dragonshire. 30k though did show us that they know how to play away from the Junkrat on Dragonshire, and this is an even bigger map. So Sylvanas actually come out first here from Breakwood.
I'm wondering, does 30k Violet have a Junkrat player in return if they don't pick it up here? Imagine has the opportunity to run it back again. They're gonna go with the Diablo pickup. This is pretty early Diablo with still a lot of counters on the table here for Imagine to grab.
Yeah, I think Nagrom seems to be like the style where he's like okay trading himself for his team's success. And Diablo is a super powerful hero, and also after that buff now where he gets 25 souls back after 20 or after 10, sorry, not 20. He's even more valuable in that slot than he was before, so could you see something like that coming out.
I like the flexibility in heroes shown on Fatal Rampage tonight. Game 1, we saw him on Rexar for Dragonshire. Game 2, we saw him on the Leoric. Game 3, we're now seeing him on the Dahaka. So it seems like he has a good handle on the offlane role here, a deep hero pool. We're seeing Virtuoso back on the Anubarak. That got them the win in Game 2. Well, not necessarily just that, but he was on that. They won. Maybe they win again. We'll have to see.
Maybe. I was going to say, it seemed like a little bit low prio on the globals to the point that we'd gotten to in the draft. I'd like to see Falstead really powerful on this map, so I'd like to see him come out for one of these teams. It's most likely not going to be on the side of 30k here, though. JTR does play it, I believe.
Yeah, I want to say he plays it as well. I feel like I've seen him on the Falstad.
Yeah.
So it is a possibility here, and I like the Falstad as well. Gus is huge, especially if you're going to be going to late game, which I'm kind of expecting after Game 2.
There it is.
We're going to see Richard back on the Lucio once again as well. Obviously, comfort pick for him.
This is going to be a Hogger or Blaze here from Epic Player, just to round it out. I think I honestly prefer the Blaze.
I do too.
Here, kind of gets annoyed by Lucio, but if Lucio's got to use all his stuff on Diablo stuns, then Blaze doesn't really care, and he gets to kind of do whatever he wants. And Zera actually in the offlane slot from Epic Player. That's a little spicy.
We'll see how much
that
he can.
Seems scary with like he's gonna get a little. It's gonna be Q build. He's gonna get overrun pretty hard on the wave clear, so he's gonna need someone from his team to come up to mid and help him out a little bit. But I'd expect like a 1-1-3 here on the side of Imagine, so it's gonna be a tough, and 30k's comp doesn't really lend themselves to answering that. Lunara does okay because she claims that huge bit of vision around that mid altar. So she may be able to come up, or even Limu might just jump over the wall and catch XP. But we'll see what 30k's got in store here. They were really fast on that map make, so
yeah, they knew where they wanted to go. They took us there.
It seems like they've got a plan again this time as well. So hopefully we can see what they've got up their sleeve.
So, are you calling it for 30k? Are you calling it for Imagine? Where do you think this series is going to end up, Lucas?
Oh, man. Well, it's going to be the opposite of whatever I say. So, JTR, former teammate of mine. So, 30k is going to win, and then that's the jinx. So, Imagine's actually going to win.
What if you just jinxed your jinx
I
by saying
don't
that?
even want to think about it.
Oh, no.
I'm actually going to start bottom here. I like this with the double global. They're going to get this tower.
I like
they're even
this.
sending the Falstad. Yeah.
I like this as well because, like you were saying, the Zeratul is going to need help clearing those waves. So there's going to be opportunity after opportunity for Imagine to push in and siege in and bottom with the numbers advantage they'll have down there. They get that bottom tower down already.
Yeah, that's pretty big. The early game power is absolutely in the hands of Imagine here. So if they can,
they found Nagrom here. Breakwood stepping
Nagrom might
forward.
actually just.
She has overwhelming
no more
affliction
damage
once again,
left.
but
Yeah, no surprises there against Diablo. It's kind of a mandatory talent, especially if your other range hero is not a % damage character. So just to make sure that you can actually deal with the Diablo is pretty big.
You see both these teams starting up their sapper camps. 30k Violet to their camp a little bit earlier than Imagine.
Yeah, not a huge deal, especially once Zera shows here on this wave like he just did. They got the Dahaka and the Falstad, so it's going to be good numbers fight for Imagine regardless. Dahaka actually getting engaged on here in mid. But he is Dahaka, so I would expect nothing to come of that pretty much ever. But and the camps are going to clash here in bottom. Epic player actually looking to harass Fatal just a little bit more on that rotation.
Virtuoso slowing them down on the rotation down to bottom, as well as Breakwood tries to clear out the sapper camps. Have Negrom getting the nice stuns onto Virtuoso. His health bar getting a ton taken off of it there. Richard's healing him up, and see, he's just going to go for the Hearth. Don't think
Breakwood had already cleared those pumps, so not even like too bad of a trade here. They're just going to kind of lean into their globals and just play pretty relaxed down here in bottom. The only time they have to be scared is when Negrom gets off the map. So like right now, you see JTR, perfect right behind that mid gate, waiting for Virtuoso to show up to kind of anchor for him. Virtuoso should check this bush with the Q. There we go. No Diablo is in there, and now JTR's got to back up again because he's in danger. But Breakwood and Richard gonna get the bot wave cleared out. Dahaka actually dying in a 1v1.
It's a Nexus kill.
I guess so. I think he was tanking the minion wave is what it looks like based on the map and where he died. Would be my guess. Epic player actually came out of that relatively unscathed, just about half HP there. We'll tap the fountain. He's gonna get a free click here onto the. We should. I'm not sure where Dahaka is going. No stall attempt even gonna come out actually on the side of Imagine. So not a great time to die for Fatal there, especially with how powerful the early game is supposed to be here on the side of Imagine, and especially in comparison.
A lot of JTR covering mid lane for Dahaka as well. Albotox being forced back by the members of Imagine. I wish they could get a bit more siege pressure down here with all of the time that we're seeing 30k Violet looking for mid picks. They're going back and forth here, and not much is happening.
I'd like to see JTR and Fatal work together here. It seems like they aren't super experienced on this strategy. Negrom actually getting tongued under the towers there. Just going to Q a minion. He's out of there. It's kind of important that the globals start pressuring all the way at the top. And then they could just play Falstad top and then Dahaka in mid because he's relatively ungankable and most of the ganks are going to happen in mid.
Yeah.
Falstad and Dahaka can then work together to pressure that top camp. And that really kind of makes 30k have to put their foot on the gas to get stuff done in the bot lane. But that's not really happening. Imagine just kind of stalling it out.
I was kind of hoping maybe they looked for the invade there too, because Zeratul just showed top on the wave. Dahaka can burrow in. You get a 5v4 here in favor of Imagine, but they're not really using those globals to their advantage, I feel like, right now. You're going to see those sappers both picked up for the teams, but 30k Violet able to clear out Imagine's pretty quickly, and now they're looking to walk theirs in. Richard interrupting, one of them running in, but it doesn't really matter. They're all going to hit the structures here.
Yeah, and even if they don't, I don't even think 30k is that upset by it. Just the state of the game. They're perfectly healthy in core shots on their way to their late game here. They're about to be 10s, or they're ahead on the race to 10, and they're even getting this altar. Imagine kind of just feels like they're a little bit unsure on what they're supposed to do, and they seem a little scared. We do finally see the globals on that top camp, though.
They do feel a little bit scared here, and I don't know if it's just the Zeratul threat that is making them consider everything that they're doing, but I would like to see them being a little bit more aggressive, especially in this early game before Zeratul really comes online and is going to start popping off. The camp does go over to the side of Imagine in that top lane. Dahaka's pushing that forward, but meanwhile on the bottom, 30k Violet is using this opportunity to get some siege into this front wall. The wall is going to fall here, and Falstad's back to soaking mid.
Yeah, as soon as Zera shows here, Dahaka needs to be like ramming his face in this minion wave. The Zera should be so far behind in waves, but can we take a look at the mid and top, the mid towers real quick? I don't even know if they're touched on the side of 30k. Yeah, not even a point of damage done, which seems a little crazy when they're playing effectively a 2v1 for the map up there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it really does because, I mean, Zeratul should be falling behind on this wave clear, but Albatox and Negrom are coming up literally wave after wave to help keep Zeratul on track, and they're not really taking advantage of that fact in bottom. Here's the VP out. The APOC to follow it up, and the Dragon Strike. This is an amazing combo out from 30k Violet. Negrom coming out of the cocoon now, getting that stun onto Dahaka, and they find themselves a 3rd kill.
Yeah, just no chance there for Breakwood and Richard. Just once you get in that VP, the APOC, as long as Epic player is not CC'd, I would have actually really liked that cocoon to come out on Epic player. It would have screwed up the whole combo. But instead it went on to the Diablo, and he still got the APOC off. And then at that point, it's in the hands of Epic player, who's, as long as he's paying attention, it's a free combo.
Camps are back up. Looks like 30k Violet's going to break off to do their sappers once again here. Zeratul showing on this top lane. I want to see them invade. Use the fact that he's not here and that you have globals. Go do something. Find these fights while you're on equal talent tiers.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, to be honest. It just seems like a bit of a slow death for Imagine, and they're not even more powerful at 20 either. So
yeah.
Like sometimes you can bleed a little bit here and then get 20s, and they do have pretty solid 20s. Wind Tunnel and Contagion both come to mind, as well as Rewind on the Anubarak, but I don't think it's better than the Zera at 16 and 20.
There's a cocoon out. Gus comes out from JTR. Drag onto Limu. Can they get the kill though? Getting incredibly low. They do find it. JTR almost going down in return, and that's going to be a 1-0 for Imagine.
We got some use out of the globals there. They can't all leave though. They gotta get something out of this. And even if it is just their 13 talent here, they need to make sure that they get on top of that without losing anything else in return.
Tried to look
a little
at Epic,
impatient
but
from Virtuoso there. Could have probably caught Epic player if they held their stuns. Oh, Breakwood actually got caught in the rotation.
Oh, this is huge! Big VP! There's the APOC to follow it up! Breakwood's gonna fall. Let's see if they can get more out of that. Virtuoso left behind by the team here. Trying to wrap back around and look for the disengage. Lucio's here with a high 5. Bit of healing. Speeding him out of there.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised only one person went down there.
Me too.
It felt like it should have been a lot more. But I think the APOC actually, it felt like a little bit early on the drop from Epic player.
Yep.
Just trying to play it back in my head. The drop was a little early, so some of the heroes were able to get out.
Oh, Richard is in trouble. He's getting chased down. Albatox getting the poison damage onto him. They're going to go down. Dragon Strike used in the process. Dragon Strike didn't really do too much there.
It was a warning Dragon Strike.
Yeah.
That's where he would say. Oh, Gus from JTR looking to... Oh, he's in... Maybe Negrom's in trouble, actually. I think there's still a cleanse available from Zadie, though, so... And an Ancestral, so he should be totally fine doing that. On that pick onto Richard just a second ago, the level 7 from Negrom actually was super impactful on... he got the autos in on his... even though he didn't necessarily get all the wall bangs he was looking for, he got the... You still get the increased damage on your next basic, and that was really important for getting Richard low enough for Lunar to finish him off.
You see the Sappers getting picked up once again by 30k Violet. They're just looking to try and finish off this bottom keep if they can, and they're looking at the invade onto Imagine Sappers. They don't have their 16s yet, so this is a little bit risky, not to mention Dahaka is going to be ahead on the fight. There is the cocoon onto Diablo. We're going to see Dragon Strike come out once again. Negrom is split off from the team. Ancestral Heal, though, going to keep him alive. APOC coming out, but not catching any of the members of Imagine. We're going to see the flip onto Fatal Rampage.
Watch the VP here. Watch the VP.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, no.
There's not really anything to follow up on it, actually. So it's just going to kind of give them better positioning, and 30k going to make the most of that. No problems there, locking down 3 kills afterwards.
It's going to get them this bottom bell tower, and there's 3 altars up to channel, as well as a couple of pumpkins walking in bottom lane
Oh, this
right
is
now.
gonna be so painful for Imagine. This is gonna be 17 shots probably, assuming they get this top right with 3 people dead. Here comes a couple members of 30k. They have 16s now, so Nagrom's one shot is pretty crazy if he gets a wall bang. Yeah, that's gonna be all 3. We're gonna be at 3 HP here for the side of 30k. They're down 16s, and there's a boss on the map as well. JTR, actually, I believe that was
Oh no.
kind of for the purpose of... Oh, what the? A little bit of a strange interaction there. I think that was actually... he wanted to get vision as well, is why he flew right over like that. But not going to work out for him.
Oh, they're looking for those counter kills. There's the Dragon Strike, though. Fatal Rampage going under the ground there to avoid that damage, but he's still going to get
Epic player 16.
off. Yeah, exactly. Not a great spot to be in. This is looking like it's going to be a 30k Violet game here. All 5 members of Imagine down, a boss up on the board. Only 3 shots needed to the core of Imagine for 30k to take the game. They will take this in a 2-1 tonight. Establishing they are the top team in their division.
Yeah, a little bit of a stumble there in game 2, but it was still really close. But this one ended up being pretty dominant across the board. Not a whole lot for Imagine to say about this one.
All right, let's take a look at this match summary really quickly. Gonna see if Epic Player wants to do an interview with us as well. Just a second here. Lupus, looking at this match summary, anything you want to talk about here before we jump into the interview?
There's just didn't seem like I said before, it just didn't seem like Imagine really was either practiced with the way that their comp was supposed to work, or they were just scared and they played way too respectful, especially in the early game where 30k's draft wasn't super strong.
Let's take one quick peek at these talents here in case anyone was curious of the builds. Get your opportunity to check them out. And we're going to jump on down into the NGS Discord where Epic Player is waiting for the interview.
Great.
I'll meet you down there.
Yep.
Hi. Hey, Epic, congrats on the win. How are you guys feeling after that series?
Good. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Yeah, you've got a lot of hots under your belt today. Now, Epic, tonight's match was kind of the decider on who's going to be top team in your division. Imagine had yet to drop a single map. You guys had yet to drop a single map. How prepared were you to face Imagine? Did you do any scouting? Were you worried how the match was going to go tonight?
No, we've scrimmed against them in the past, so we knew that we could win, and we kind of know what they like to play, so we weren't too worried going in.
We saw a lot of map pick over first pick from you guys today. Can you talk a little bit about why you're prioritizing maps over that first pick right now?
Because map pick is stronger for draft, so it's kind of busted because not only are you choosing what map you're going to, and the other teams are not, but you have the better picks for draft. I have been saying it for like a year or so that second pick is better than first pick.
All right. Leave us, you have some questions you want to toss out here.
Just about the Zeratul pick in the last game. Were you at all worried about the fact that they had the 2 globals and they could kind of overload the top part of the map? I know they didn't do it, but was it a concern going through your head before you locked that in?
No, not really. Because even if they do, like, it's really hard for them to kill me, so I can still get the soak pretty safely. And we can have someone from our 4-man grab mid when I can't grab it. So even if they did play top lot, they couldn't really kill me. The most they could do would be to do some siege damage.
All right.
Got it.
Game number 2. You guys went to 2 with the Spider Queen. That's the one match Imagine took off of you guys. You're getting into the late game. What are comms like? Especially, you know, The nice thing, the weird thing about Tomb is you get to this late game, there's not really a lot for you to do. Both teams sitting at gems for turn-ins, you're kind of sitting around, dancing around each other. But how do you kind of keep your cool and try to keep focus? And what exactly happened at the end there for you guys to drop that one?
Yeah, so once they got 20, they have Sylph, my 20 mind
Mhm.
control, and they have Leo 20 and Tomb. And so when we were sieging, we just overstayed a little bit too long, and then they were able to get picks with either the 20 MC or the Leo 20 and Tomb. So we just had to back out a little sooner, and I think we would have been fine.
You also had Lemieux, he was subbing for Panda tonight as well, I believe, right?
And no, Panda is not on our NGS roster. He's only for HRCF.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. I didn't realize that. How often then do you get to play with Lemieux with Panda also being on your HRCS? Are they kind of swapping in and out for scrims? How comfortable are you with, your rosters in both situations, I guess?
We're pretty comfortable with our roster in both situations. In scrims, it kind of just depends on how the schedule pans out. Sometimes Panda can't make it, but since HRCS has a prize pool and this division doesn't, we're prioritizing scrims with Panda when we can.
Okay. Okay, cool. Good to know. Um, what team after Imagine now you kind of you've cleared them out? Is there any other teams in your division now that you are at all worried about? Or are you pretty confident you guys are going to be walking out of here first seed into playoffs?
We're pretty confident. As far as teams, I know DGen M, they can pull out some pretty cheesy comps, so that's one I've been keeping an eye on. As long as I do the good, proper prep and they don't cheese us out, I think we should take that. And then our next series versus Rook should be the next series that we're gonna have to look out for.
All right. All right, we're going to wrap things up here, but we'll give you an opportunity. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out before we take off?
Yeah, just shout outs to the casters and shout outs to my team and shout outs to all the 30K staff that has been helping us out.
Well, congrats on the win. I look forward to see the rest of the season, see if anybody can take a win off of you guys here, but you are looking pretty strong going forward. So best of luck in the rest of the season.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. Let's get Lupus back up here. And we're going to send you on over to Funds. He's